It's great having you with me today on Paint a Beautiful Picture. This is episode number 232, A Sprint versus a Journey. I often see people who are reasonably short-sighted. In other words, they're just trying to get through the next 5 minutes, the next hour, this day of work, this moment. That's all they can see. They really don't have a long-range view of the future, and it's very obvious by the way they live. Life, especially as a parent, it is not a sprint. It is a journey. So a sprint, you stand on the starting line and they blow off the gun and off you run. And in 20, 25, 30 seconds, it's already over with and you either won or you lost. And that's all there is. And so people who are sprinters, they train for the rapid start and the full burst of energy, and they're looking to get to the finish line first. People who are on a journey, for example, someone who intends to go from California to New York, and they're going to get across the entire United States of America. We'll say they're doing it on a bike, so they're going to give themselves a couple of months to do it in, or they're doing it in a car, and they give themselves a week or a week and a half. They are on a journey. They are not looking for the most rapid start and the most rapid finish. They are looking to do it in a measured pace. And in pacing themselves, they don't wear themselves out. They can actually enjoy some of the scenery. They have a different goal in mind. I want to encourage you as a parent. This is not a sprint. This is a journey. Along the way, as you proceed as a parent from the time that you have a baby, you will have the great enjoyment of a change in scenery. You will watch your child's personality develop as they're a toddler and they're moving around, and you'll see the things that draw their interest, their places where they want to explore. I had one son who wanted to get into the cupboard and dig out all the pans and beat on them with spoons and other things. I had another son who was very tactile. He wanted to take stuff and smear it over the walls and smear it over the floor and feel it with his hands and slide on it with his tummy. He wanted to feel it with his body. Yeah, they both explored the world differently. My one son was very verbal. He used a lot of words. He explored what he could accomplish by talking about his ideas and talking about his feelings and his desires. And truthfully, even as an adult, nearly 50 years old, he still approaches the world in that way. My other son was much more thoughtful and introspective. He did not use a lot of words. He is still like that. If he doesn't feel safe around you, or he doesn't feel like you are that interested in him, or you're making that large of an investment with him, he isn't even going to waste his time trying to talk to you, much less explain to you what he thinks or how he feels. Yeah, you will have the opportunity of seeing your child develop in the ways that they explore and approach the world. You get to enjoy that piece of the scenery. When they're 3, 4, and 5 and they're learning various skills, whether depending upon where they're going to school or how interactional you are with them, whether that is the memorization of scripture or nursery rhymes or songs or rhythms or how to dance or how to play a violin, uh, how to be very physically active, doing flips and dives and various things that gymnasts do. Whatever that area that your child loves and wants to discover the most and is going after, you will start to see those parts of them develop, and you get to enjoy the scenery. Once they are in a preschool or a school setting and they develop friendships, relationships, they see their strengths in how they get along with others, and they see their weaknesses in where they are having challenges in getting along with others, including maybe their teacher. You are enjoying the scenery of seeing them developing psychologically and psychosocially as a human being. When they get to be a preteen to a full-blown teen, you really start to see elements of their personality that they will exert and sometimes do somewhat forcefully or even all the way to rebelliously. And you get to choose how you look at that. So you have the opportunity to enjoy the scenery of seeing them become a much more independent, semi developed, because they're certainly not fully developed, human person, and you get to love them for who they are and appreciate for who they are and talk to them about who, with some of those seeds, they might become and how that can happen. The things they might have to expend energy on, both developing and learning and curtailing or preventing if you see certain kinds of weak areas or certain propensities that you'd prefer they not go in particular directions. And certainly as a young adult, oh my gracious, this is still a part of the journey where you need to get your hands out of the way and allow them to make some decisions and allow them to make some mistakes, sometimes some failures, and learn and address who they are and who they are becoming and what that level of personal responsibility is going to look like. That you are not their mommy or their daddy anymore. And when they do certain things, then they have to live up to what they did and they have to live through the things that they did, depending on if it's a success or a failure. Yeah, they have that privilege of being a young adult and all of the responsibility that that privilege carries. And again, you have the joy of that part of the journey. Parenting really and truly is a journey. Here's part of why, a part of why that's so critical for us to remember. They're in a patch and it's really tough. When my one son was 8, he went through a really tough patch after my divorce from his stepdad. And that was the only dad he ever knew. And his whole world came apart as he saw it. He struggled hard, and his teacher did not know what to do or how to help him with that. I didn't look at that as the end of the world because it wasn't. It was just a part of the journey. When you travel across the United States, if you're coming through certain parts of the desert in Nevada or some other parts, I'll say Kansas because it's very flat. There are some parts that just aren't as interesting or lovely and sometimes even frustrating if it's really hot and your air conditioner is on the fritz or your radiator breaks down. Many things when you travel a lot that I've experienced. That is only a portion of the journey. It isn't the entire thing. So you keep it in perspective when you hit a rough patch with your kid, even that if that rough patch lasts for a year or two, uh, you know that this is just a part of the journey. It isn't the entire thing. The thing about being a parent is I don't know if there is a final destination. I'm still enjoying watching my one son raising his young adult children. I'm enjoying my other son living his life, and both of my sons are much closer to 50 than anything else now. I'm really, really enjoying this part of the journey, and we still hit snags, we still have issues, we still work on resolution of things relationally. It isn't like we've arrived anywhere. We are good friends. We like and respect each other. All of us do. So I'm really blessed, but I'm aware that I'm still on the journey. It is not a sprint, it is a journey. My question for you is, are you in a tough patch and you're not enjoying the journey? Or are you actually enjoying the journey? Do you have the viewpoint that this is a long, long, long trip and you're going to enjoy all the various parts of it? I hope that you are. I really do. If you haven't enjoyed much of the journey so far, I really pray that you can find the perspective that there truly is joy in this journey and that you will enjoy it. Have a really wonderful day. You may find additional information on our paintabeautifulpicture.com website. Additionally, you may watch me on Rumble, and you may also listen to a podcast on Buzzsprout or Spreaker, all under the name Paint a Beautiful Picture. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. You may subscribe, and if you are interested in receiving notifications, please hit the notifications button.